Amongst these august bodies, one would have thought that Jesus would arrive in a show of power and might. But that was not his way, not Jesus of Nazareth. He asked only for a small donkey to ride on as he approached the great gates. A donkey! A donkey! We all scoffed at the idea. But of course, in retrospect, this fulfilled perfectly the prophecy. Tell the daughter of Zion, look, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey.
That idiot son of mine. Well, that's all I could think. Watch the donkey, I said. He's not used to being tied up. Yes, Mother. Not fully convinced that he heard me, I said, watch the donkey, son. He's barely old enough to start working for all of that hay we're feeding him. And he's not used to being tied up, so watch the donkey. Yes, Mother. Oy vey! It's like talking to a brick wall. Well, I had to go in and order my Passover bread. You know, you can never get your order in too early when you're using Moishe's bakery. It's wonderful. Anyway, when I got home, what did I find? No donkey! Well, I tell you, I shot into that house quicker than a Pharisee late for temple. Only to find my son sitting in front of the back window, staring out at the passers-by with this dazed look on his face like he was sleeping with his eyes open. And I'm not exaggerating, he had drool coming from his mouth. I am not exaggerating. Well, I put a stop to his reverie. Son, where's the donkey? What have you done with the donkey? And do you know, without batting an eye, without even taking his face away from that window, he said, the men came and got him. Men? What men? Did your father get done with that thing he had at the city gates this morning? Was he with them? No, he wasn't with them. He said some men came to the door and told me that the Lord had need of the donkey, and I thought I better not argue with that. The Lord had need of the donkey. That's what he told me. So you're telling me that if a beggar comes to our door and tells you that Pilate wants you to dine with him at the royal palace tonight, you'll swallow that one too? Well, he said, probably not, Mother. What else could I do? I had to go find the donkey. So I went outside and I headed toward the Bab el Rama, the Golden Gate. And that is when I noticed it. The streets were empty. There was nobody around. But I could see off in the distance this crowd was gathering, and they were shouting things and laughing and singing. And there were children playing. It was like a festival was going on. And when I got a little closer, I could see that they were waving palm branches in the air. And the things they were shouting was, Messiah has come. Blessed is he who comes. Jesus is here. And then when I got close up to them, they had lined this road, and they were taking their cloaks off and throwing them down on the ground and making a multi-textured avenue of brilliant colors. It was beautiful. And when I got up to that road and when I looked down there amidst that crowd of people, with sun coming from over his face, there he was, my donkey. But I must honestly tell you that my attention quickly fell away from our lowly donkey, because on his back was a man whose smile shone like the sun. And from him such love came pouring down over all of these people who were praising him. It was amazing. And he walked up that road, and when he got in front of me, he stopped. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. And do you know, he turned and he looked right at me, and with such kindness in his eyes, he just said, thank you. You know, my son had spoken truly that day. The Lord did have need of our donkey. The Lord had need of my donkey. You know, when he looked at me, something inside of me changed that day. And I know it's true. And I will spend the rest of my days telling everyone, letting everyone know that Messiah has come.